Woo! What's going on, guys? Arms Form coming at you today with another video, and today we're going to be doing Lions training camp day 9, which was yesterday. Sorry I couldn't get to it, but I'm getting to it today. I don't believe there was a day 10, which was supposed to be today. I'm pretty sure they're on a plane to New York to face off the Giants in two days of joint practices, and I'm not 100% sure on that. I know they are going to New York either today or tomorrow, but I don't think they had a day 10. So, but I'll double check, and if they did, I'll get to it, but I will get to the joint practices. But day 9 was yesterday, and I'm getting into it today. Thanks to guys like John Macaron, Jeremy Reisman, Jeff Risden, Tim Twentyman, Eric Schlitt, and Justin Rogers, etc., etc. More observations from training camp. This was a scrimmage. This was pretty much a scrimmage time, setting up their joint practices when they go face off against the Giants for those 2 days. It's kind of like they do a lot of game scenarios. Pretty much, it's just like a game. Referees, everything is all there. So they had the same kind of deal. They were just kind of preparing themselves for that. It was 22 drives. Let's get into it, and I'm going to talk about every single drive, and then maybe some little tidbits here and there, because all the other outlets that I went to too. So 22 drives. Drive 1, the starters, 3 plays, 2 yards. Big tackle for loss by Emmanuel Mosley. Don't know who he got there. Then a third and manageable, Goff to JMO, incomplete. It was a punt. Drive 2, starters stayed on the field. So that's team 1 offense, team 2 defense. 10 plays, 70 plus yards, and a touchdown. Offense won this one. Aleem McNeil did have a sack, lining up at the 3 tech. Pretty sure he beat Kevin Zeitler again. Looped around the edge. So maybe he didn't beat Zeitler on that one, but he did loop around the edge. Don't know who he beat, if it was Zeitler, kind of the coming out with him, or if it was Decker or Sewell. I haven't really heard too much about Sewell getting beat or anything like that, but Aleem with the sack, and it was very athletic. Then Goff had a deep pass to Laporta. Could have been called back. Decker did have a potential hold on Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch beaten up on tight ends in this particular drive, particularly Brock Wright kind of threw him to the side. Goff touchdown, Darius Fountain touchdown, beat the zone coverage. Looked like Melifonwu had a chance to get him, but he kind of got stuck. Darius Fountain beat him on the coverage. Darius Fountain making all kinds of plays, guys. The drive 3, second team, 8 plays, 27 yards, missed field goal, 51-yarder by Bates, and he missed another 46-yarder too because there was a penalty. Hooker with an overthrow. This is the second team, so Hendon Hooker, the quarterback, he was in there today, not Sudfeld. So Hooker got some second team play with an overthrow to the flats, and then a bobbled catch out of bounds by Khalif Raymond. Spoiled this drive pretty much. And Jamar Jefferson has some nice pass protection on this drive too. Bates missed the 51-yarder. Too many men on the D, so they redo the kick. Then he missed the 46-yarder. We'll get a little touch on Bates too. I'll give you my opinion on what's going on with that guy. He's struggling a little bit though. Drive 4, third team, 6 plays, 15 plus yards. Rakestraw playing some nickel cornerback. He's been playing a lot of nickel with the third teams. Fought through a block for a tackle for loss on a bubble screen. Don't know who he tackled. Cornerback Kendall Vildor locked up Donovan Peoples-Jones and had a pass breakup to end the drive. Good on Kendall. Drive 5, first team offense versus second team D. Starting at the 50-yard line, 6 plays, 50 yards, touchdown. Monty and Gibbs with a couple nice runs to set up some stuff. Goff to Williams for 20 yards. Rakestraw with good coverage, but a very good contested catch. You can actually, I think you can see it. There's a short reel on that too. Really nice route by JMO, and nice sticky coverage by Rakestraw. It was just a pretty good catch by Jameson Williams. Then after the Brock Wright play, they put that in quotations. The Brock Wright play. I'm assuming the Brock Wright play is the one that they used against the Jets. If you guys don't remember, it was kind of like motion. Goff to the left, going right, turned to the left, threw it to Brock Wright, big touchdown. So I'm assuming that's the Brock Wright play. So that kind of, that was set for the vet tight end, and then Gibbs with an easy 5-yard score. So they must have got some good yardage on that Brock Wright play. and then Gibbs with the easy score, like I said. And then drive 6. This is a second team O versus the first team defense. 50-yard line, 3 plays, 4 yards. Antoine Green with the bobble. He bobbled the catch and stepped out of bounds. He should have been caught. Combo sack then by nose tackle Kyle Pico and Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson's been absolutely killing it in camp. No surprise there. They're not ended that, but Green's got to make those catches, man, because he's literally talking himself out of wide receiver 4 or 5. He's completely not producing at right now. Preseason is going to be big for him. Drive 7, second team offense versus first team defense. 50-yard line, 1 play, 50 yards, touchdown. Jamar Jefferson found some space after a really nice block by Khalif Raymond. Run up the sidelines, touchdown, ended up beating Brian Branch, juked him out, and scored. So Jamar Jefferson playing well too right now. I haven't heard a lot about Jamar. Like I said, last video or video before that, I almost forgot he was on this football team. And we'll talk a little bit more about him too, and Sione Vaikai. Vaikai was back, by the way. I should have done the participation. Here, let me get to that real quick. You know what? I'll get to it when I get to it. Drive 8, second team offense versus first team defense. 50-yard line, 3 plays, minus 7 yards. Branch was locking up tight end Shane Zylstra. He made up for letting Jamar Jefferson score on him. Incomplete. Then 2 sacks. McNeil collapsed the line for linebacker Jack Campbell, who made the sack. Then another combo sack by Hutch and Derek Barnes. Then drive 9, third team, offense, defense. 5 plays, 15-plus yards. Cornerback Kindle Vildor, interception off Nate Sudfeld. It was called back, though. There was a holding. Then a block in the back call on UDFA offensive lineman Brian Hudson. Not a good look for the third team offense. Drive 10, first teams. 2 plays, 25 yards, and a touchdown. This was on a 25-yard line at the opponents. So, they're right there. Trick play, 19 yards. Apparently, they couldn't divulge the details of it, but there were some details, I think, that were leaked out by either a beat writer. Well, it was a beat writer, who I won't say. And I don't know if they're supposed to talk, but apparently they're not supposed to talk about certain things. But this guy did. So I'll kind of get to that in a little bit. Then Gibbs had a touchdown pass. Little swing, little wheel pass. Onwuzurike made a play for that pass. Apparently he was in line to make the interception, but he couldn't find the football. So Goff kind of threw the ball over Onwuzurike's fingertips. He had a shot at an interception though, but couldn't find the ball. It happens. On to drive 11. First team again, offense, defense, at opponent 25-yard line, same thing. 3 plays, 25 yards, touchdown. Williams had a rough drop. After making a really nice move, getting open, and then dropped the ball. Then there was a 21-yard touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Melifonwu jumped the route perfectly, but couldn't get his hand on the ball. So, one thing that Melifonwu can do well, and he does do it well, is he makes breaks on balls, but he just couldn't get to that one. Got to it, but couldn't get his hands on it for some reason. And then drive 12, first teams, at opponent's 25-yard line. 5 plays, 16-yard, 25-yard field goal. Tackle for loss by Hutch and McNeil. Then wide receiver Jerice Felton with a nice 12-yard catch to make up some yards. Arnold had really nice coverage on Felton, but Felton with the nice contested catch. Remember, Felton is 6'2", 210, 215 pounds. Probably our biggest wide receiver on the team. Him and Donovan Peoples-Jones about the same height. Felton might be a little bit bigger in weight, but he's one of the biggest wide receivers on the team. And then Montgomery with 2 nice runs, made it 3rd and 4, 2 4-yard gains. Defense blitzed. Barnes was in the mic, which he has been experimenting with. He played some mic last year too. He's basically our Sam linebacker 1 though, but he does play some mic. Monty picked that blitz up, but cornerback Emmanuel Mosley was blitzing again, so he forced an incompletion from Jared Goff. And then Bates hit the 25-yarder. Drive 13, second team at 25-yard line of the opponents. 4 plays, 10 yards, interception. Mitchell Agude with a real nice tackle for loss. showing off his backside pursuit. He's got speed. Remember, guys, he's a guy that I really, really like on this team. I still think he's probably only going to be a practice squad guy, but he could play himself into some Sam linebacker reps this year. He really could. All depends what happens with Betts in Houston. Craig Reynolds was the ball carrier at the time, and Agude got him. Hooker throwing to Tom Kennedy on an out route, but the throw was slow and late. Cornerback Khalil Dorsey with the pick. Apparently it was a pick 6 too. Drive 14, second teams at opponent's 25-yard line. 3 plays, 25 yards, and a score. Rookie Mekhi Wingo he tossed a newcomer guard Ike Bodiger aside and had a nice tackle for loss. James Houston and Joshua Pascal also had stops at the line of scrimmage. Hooker threw a touchdown to running back Siona Vaikai on a wheel route, 20-plus yards, perfectly hitting him in stride. So he made up for the interception that he had prior to that. So good for Hooker. Like to see that. Like to see the bounce back. Drive 15, third team, at opponent's 25-yard line. 3 plays, 0 yards, missed field goal, 46-yarder. Agude blew by Manu for a sack, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. Manu was struggling big time. Cornerback Stephen Gilmore with pressure. 3rd down throwaway by Hooker. So smart, throw the ball away. Don't try to force anything. That's good by the young kid, learning a little bit right there. Drive 16, third teams at opponent's 25-yard line. 6 plays, 25 yards, and a score. Wide receiver Isaiah Williams juked out safety Loren Strickland for a 10-yard gain. Then it ended up being 4th and 1 eventually. Touchdown inside the 5-yard line. Jefferson walked in. So that's Jefferson's second score of the day. Colby Sorrelsville, Parker Hess, the tight end, and Sean McKeon, the tight end out of Michigan, all had perfectly executed blocks. You'd like to see that too. Easy touchdown. Drive 17, first team, starting on your own 1-yard line. Now the objective is to get 2 first downs, not drive all the way down the field. Campbell just wants to see his offense get 2 first downs. So 3 plays, 25-plus yards, executed it. Offense dominated this situation. Physical run by Monty, and then an easy 10-plus yard game by St. Brown. Drill over there. Drive 18, second team out there, both offense and D. Own 1-yard line, same thing. Get 2 first downs is the objective. 3 plays, 7 yards, and an interception. Rakestraw picked off Hooker. That's 3 picks for Rake now. Back to back to back. He's really playing good football right now, and I know it's practice, but it's really good. It's really good look for him. And I want to make a quick note right away here. There's people on social media that don't think practice means anything. You know, you see these beat writers, man, and they do a great job, okay? They do a great job, and they put out their stuff. They're out there, you know, it's a great job. And I'm not trying to see that these guys are out there and they're struggling, but they're out there in the heat. They're Lions beat writers. You know, they don't have to do this. It's a good job. I would love to have that job. And they're giving all of us notes, and they're giving us information. There's fans out there that don't think practice matters. There's guys out there saying, who cares what Hooker is doing? Who cares that he's struggling? Who cares that Enos Rakestraw has 3 picks in 3 days? Who cares that Arnold is getting beat by J-Mo, or Arnold makes a really nice play on J-Mo? Who cares that Hutch is doing it? That's the most casual thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sorry that I'm kind of going off the subject here, but practice means everything. It does. Preseason means everything too. Yeah, maybe not necessarily for Goff and Hutch and Gibbs and guys like Laporta, but there's guys that are literally going to be fighting for their lives to try and make this team. And it starts with practice. You're a casual if you don't think practice means something. Seriously, you've never stepped foot on a football field. You've never been in a locker room. You've never been on a diamond for baseball. If you don't think practice means something. I loved practice when I was a kid, when I was younger. I really did. I loved going to practice. I was one of those guys that loved to do it because you sharpen your tools physically and mentally. So anybody that thinks that practice doesn't mean shit, you don't know what you're talking about. It's just that simple. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. It really is. So practice means a lot because there's guys out there fighting for their football lives. So when you hear stuff like Enos Rakestraw is making plays, trust me, the coaches see it. The coaches see it and they mark it down and they're like, okay, we need to get this guy more reps here. We need to downgrade this guy. That's the way it goes. Thought I'd just get that out a little bit. Breathe. So Rakestraw picked off Hooker, 3 picks. Couldn't tell who he was throwing to, maybe. I couldn't really tell who Hooker was throwing to. Antoine Green looked to be within the vicinity, looked to be within the area, but they couldn't really tell. From the beat writers, they couldn't really tell who he was throwing to. Maybe it was Green. Then drive 19, third teams, 0-1 yard line. The goal is to get 2 first downs, 4 plays, 30-plus yards. They did that. Jamar Jefferson again picked up 8 yards on 2 carries. Then got a first down with a nice catch on a swing pass, wheel route. Then Sudfeld, then found wide receiver Traquan Smith on an out route, and then great blocking by Jamar Jefferson again, picking up the blitz. So Jamar Jefferson showing out on day 9. Drive 20, we're almost done, guys. First team, first and goal from the 10-yard line. 2 plays, 10 yards, touchdown. Trick play again to the third line. To the 3-yard line, Montgomery with a nice touchdown run. Sewell blowing up McNeil. And then Glasgow had a really nice block on Jack Campbell. Easy score by Monty. Drive 21, second team O&D. First and goal from the 10. 3 plays, -1 yard. Field goal, 29-yarder. Safety Brandon Joseph beat a block to tackle Tom Kennedy in the backfield on a bubble screen. Hooker found Khalif Raymond in the end zone, but Mosley pushed him out of bounds. Khalif didn't get his feet down. Nice throw and catch. Raymond had to outstretch a little bit to make the catch, but he just couldn't get his feet in. Mosley gave him a shove. Good defense on Mosley. And then Jalen Reeves-Maben with a really nice blitz that forced an overthrow on third down. Drive over. So drive 22, the end of the thing. This is the end of the scrimmage. And we talk a little bit about what's going on. Third team, ended up with the third team, down 3 points, minute 41 seconds left, 2 timeouts on own 42-yard line, 10 plays, 36 yards, missed field goal, 40 yards. Sudfeld had a nice drive. He was leading it. Short passes to Isaiah Williams, and then DPJ and Sean McKeon. A conversion on 4th and 6, by the way, by Sean McKeon. Then the timing pass to Maurice Alexander, complete, set up a field goal, but missed wide left, 40-yarder. Okay, now to the Jake, and then that was it for the scrimmage. Now to some Jake Bates stuff. But okay, first to talk about participation. It looks like everyone was back, okay? Coyote Awasika, the kind of the backup guard, tackle, whatever, I think he's a guard, wasn't there. So 2 days in a row for him. Rookie running back Sione Vaikai obviously came back, got great news on his shoulder, must have been a stinger. A little bit of a scare with that, so he's back. And then running back Zonovan Knight was back as well too. But back to Bates, okay? Back to Jake Bates. He made 8 field goals, 25, 29, 33, 38, 43, 48, 51, and 59. 51 and 59, that's impressive. I like that. He missed, though, 6, 40, 46, 46, 46, 51, 54, 64. And then he was apparently, I heard this was on 2 reports that he was 5 for 6 on extra points. Another beat writer said he was 4 for 6, missing 2 extra points. You can't miss extra points. You can't, okay? You just can't. And then secondly, these misses, I can live, and this is just me as a fan talking, I can live with you missing 51, 54, and 64-yard field goals, but missing 40-yarders, 40-plus yarders is unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. Now I am rooting for this kid. I am literally rooting for this kid, but I still say his hype is overblown. He's got a howitzer for a leg. I'm not going to deny it. But you can't be missing easy field goals. 40-plus yard field goals should be like taking a sip of water for an NFL kicker. It should be easy. You should not be missing 40-plus yarders. You shouldn't. It's just that easy. Now, he needs some competition to be brought in, and I think it's coming. Just don't know who it's going to be, but I think it's coming. I think James Turner got released by the Packers. Do they bring him back? Patterson, I know, got picked up by the Commanders, I believe. I don't want him back anyways. They can't decide on that kid to begin with. Bring someone in. Bring the kid, that Andre Schmidt kid. They brought him in for a tryout. How bad was the tryout? He was one of the best kickers in the UFL last year. Bates wasn't. Bates just has a strong leg. His accuracy is not that great. It really isn't. Now, he's missed a lot of long ones. Don't get me wrong. But he hasn't been very good outside. And he's struggling right now. So bring someone in. I love him to win this job. But he needs to get it together. He really does. Then quick hits. Cornerback Kendall Vildor is really having a nice camp. Kind of talked about that. He had that interception, but is really playing really good on special teams as well. So, he's in a little bit of a loaded room. I don't want to say it's a elite room, but it's a room that's got a lot of guys that are probably already set in stone, and he's kind of fighting for his life. Nate Lynn, the undrafted free agent out of William & Mary, continues to have a really good, he's stacking up really good days, making plays, stuffing running backs on him at night on one play. And then Fountain and Traquan Smith impressed on day 9 as well, too. It's becoming natural now to talk about Therese Fountain and how he's doing really well. Made plays and did well on special teams too. Then Wingo, I talked about having get a sack and then really nice run stuff on the third team, but the rookie is stacking days. It's gonna take a little bit, I think, for that guy. I'd love to see him on first and second team defense, just getting some reps, see what happens. Is he gonna get that chance? I don't really know yet, but he's doing really well. St. Brown was used in 2 trick plays. Now, this is the plays that I think that weren't supposed to be talked about, but they were. Flashy plays. It was a pitch man on a reverse play back to Gibbs. So, St. Brown getting the ball, pitching it back to Gibbs. They've done this play before, so I don't think, maybe I'm completely overblowing it. And then a double pass, a throw. It was a throw to St. Brown, and then St. Brown throwing it back to Goff on a little bit of a wobbler. But that were the 2 kind of trick plays they used. I think one of them was for a big game. 2 of them might have been, and both I think worked. And then, like I talked about, the rookie Giovanni Manu out of UFBC is struggling. He seems to be way behind on the depth chart. If he doesn't get his arms locked out, I can't really extend my left arm. If he doesn't get his arms locked out, he gets in trouble. He doesn't have a plan B. He has to figure it out. And he's getting beat. He's getting beat a lot. He's getting beat down. So he's way down on the charts. Where he is right now is a little bit concerning. It's early, but he is a developmental player, so I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, man, this was a terrible pick. But he's got to step it up. And then more talk on this running back stuff. I didn't write this down. More talk on this running back stuff. It's Gibbs and Montgomery for 2. Running back Craig Reynolds is your number 3 running back on this team. It's not going to be Sione Vaikai, okay? It's not. Now they got Jamar Jefferson in the talks for the past 2-3 days now. I like Sione Vaikai. I still think it was a baffling decision to draft him. I think it was a weird draft. I was like, why would they draft a safety that barely played running back and then decide to make him a running back? That's way above my pay grade. That's way above my pay grade. Those guys are a lot smarter. Holmes is much smarter than me. The scouting department is much smarter than me when it comes to football. But I can still question the pick. And I will question that pick. Because what if Jamar Jefferson ends up beating out Sione Vaikai? I know it's super early, but Jefferson's starting to turn the heat on a little bit right now. And Vaikai, he's doing well. I'm not even saying he's doing bad. He's actually doing well. But don't forget about Jamar Jefferson. I'd forgot about him. I forgot he was even on the team. But now you're starting to hear his name a little bit more. I just think that was a weird pick. You drafted a guy who played safety at Utah for 3 seasons and carried the ball like 40 times at Utah. And then you drafted him as a running back. I get that you love what you've seen. I understand you guys have the luxury of seeing that. You guys have the luxury of scouting him, the luxury of talking to his friends, his family, his coaches, his previous coaches, everybody in his life. I don't get that luxury, and you fell in love with the guy, and you went up and you got him. Same with Manu. That was another pick too. That was a little bit weird. Went for a Canadian guy. Canadian, and I'm not bashing Canadian because I'm from Canada. But he played at University of British Columbia. You reached to get him. You went up to get him. You know, he hasn't gone up against any type of NFL real products, like, to be honest. So it's a little bit concerning, those two picks, but they're developing players. I don't want to freak out about it, but I do have concerns, and I think I should. Now, the new kickoff participants, you know, we've talked about this a little bit because there's going to be new kickoff rules. Maurice Alexander, Jalon Calhoun, Khalif Raymond, Tom Kennedy, Jameson Williams, Sione Vaikai, and Gibbs are the guys that are trying to fight for that kickoff return guy, kickoff return specialist, whatever they want to call it. And then Gibbs really showing off his speed and explosion. Khalif Raymond, probably two of the fastest guys on the team is Gibbs, Raymond, and obviously J-Mo being number one. But those three guys are the fastest. And that's it, guys. Now they're off to New York to face the Giants for 2-day joint practices. I don't think we had a day 10 today. I don't think we had a day 10. I'll look into it, but I didn't really see anything already. So we'll know more about that. But I don't know if the 2-a-days start. I mean, the 2-day joint practice starts tomorrow or Monday. But I'll be on that as soon as I can. But that's it, guys. Thanks for coming in. We're over 26 minutes. It was a long one. I really appreciate you guys coming in here and listening to me talk about our lovable Detroit Lions. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget the notification bell right in the bottom there. Don't forget to hit the bell up top, the ring ding ling, and don't forget to like, comment, and share this. I appreciate it, guys. One pride, Detroit Lions. Detroit versus everybody. Grit. Let's go. Boom.